and for the fourth Saturday of April 2026. A few stray thoughts. And a few general remarks. And a few points of view. By way of a roundup of the week. All my own musings. Early monsoons in India. Early monsoon alert. Weather systems signal ahead of time arrival likely in India. Fresh forecasts from the European Centre for Medium Range Weather Forecasts, ECMWF, suggest the southwest monsoon could make an early start, bringing much-needed relief from rising heat.
22 अप्रैल बुधवार को देश भर में मौसम का मिजाज एक साथ कई रंग दिखाने वाला है। एक तरफ उत्तर और मध्य भारत में भीषण गर्मी और लू का असर जारी रहेगा, तो दूसरी ओर पूर्व उत्तर और पूर्वी राज्यों में तेज बारिश और आंधी का अलर्ट जारी किया गया है। IMD के मुताबिक अगले 48 घंटों में करीब 12 राज्यों में मौसम तेजी से बदल सकता है।
As April 2026 draws to a close, much of India is gasping under intense heat. Parts of north, central, and eastern India have seen temperatures soaring to 43-44 C, with the India Meteorological Department, IMD, warning of further warming in the days ahead. But there's hopeful news on the horizon. Fresh forecasts from the European Centre for Medium Range Weather Forecasts, ECMWF, suggest the southwest monsoon could make an early start, bringing much-needed rain to southern India by as early as late May. Festival of Elections, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal's celebrations. Like the first phase of voting in West Bengal and the single phase voting in Tamil Nadu for the assembly elections got over. Record-break voting, 92.6 and 85.1% in West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. Good. Just make sure voting doesn't exceed 100%. West Bengal. Like, Modi is a terrorist, said Khadge. Election Commission issued notice to Khadge. Bail, mujhe. Mallikarjun Kharge calls PM Modi a terrorist. Mallikarjun Kharge was questioning the LADMK's choice of BJP as an alliance partner for the Tamil Nadu polls when he used the word terrorist for the PM.
ज़बान संभाल के ज़बान संभाल के ज़बान संभाल के ज़बान संभाल के जो चाहे कहो पर सारा देखभाल के ज़बान संभाल के ज़बान संभाल के.
How can they join with Modi, who is a terrorist? Modi is not for these principles. And one more thing I want to tell you, how this AIDMK people who themselves put the photo of Annadurai and the party itself is Annadurai, how can they join with Modi, who is a terrorist and who won't believe in equality? His party won't believe in equality and justice. And these people are joining with them. It means that they are weakening democracy, they are weakening the philosophy of Annadurai, Kamaraj, Periyar and Kalinger and Baba Saheb Ambedkar.
During your press conference you said Modi
as a terrorist, as why AIADMK has joined hands with him. So can you please put a context in what context?
No, I mean that terrorist
It is important, sir, that's why I asked. I wanted to context.
No, exactly. Terrorist, it is just I wanted to clarify that Modi always threatens and always he is, I told certain sequence, ID, ED, income tax, CVC, these institutions are in his hand. Again, this delimitation also he wants to take in his hand. Therefore, I say, in that context,
Terrorize, you mean to say?
he is terrorizing people and political parties. Now, I never said he is a terrorist. Terrorizing.
Age matters. EVR started Drividar Kajgam, DK. At the age of 70, EV Ramsamy, Periyar, married Mani Ammai, who was then 30 years old. This led to the split in the party. And Annadurai started DMK.
MGR, NG Ramchandran, founded the ADMK, now AIADMK, on 17th October 1972, following his expulsion from the DMK party due to a bitter power struggle and corruption allegations against leader N. Karunanidhi.
Anna is the ideologue for all Dravidian parties including the latest TVK. Be clear on facts, Kargai G. A roaring lion kills no game.
It is very unfortunate, a senior politician, a leader of the Congress party, which has got a lineage of its own, choosing to use a very dirty language, choosing to bring indignity to the office of the Honorable Prime Minister, and straight away calling PM Modi as a terrorist. Now he can say, no, I didn't mean it. I actually said media has misquoted me. I am saying that PM is terrorizing population. What he said is, how can AIADMK do alliance with BJP? Modi is a terrorist. Now the bare minimum we are seeking is, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge should issue a public apology and seek people's forgiveness. This too against the leader like Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi is duly elected by the public, not once, not twice, multiple times as Chief Minister and the Prime Minister of our nation. That only shows to what level the defeat is writ large on the India alliance. Khargeji, after coming to Tamil Nadu, has seen the ground. He knows India alliance is in for a huge defeat. That is why out of desperation he is using this kind of language. The bare minimum we seek is a public apology and seeking forgiveness from the people of our country.
A lion who roars before the hunt warns the prey and goes hungry. And a lioness who stays hidden feeds her family. So the secret is silence, patience, and working together. Strength and speed matter, but without patience and wisdom, they are wasted. Moving silently, crouching low and waiting for the right moment
is the secret for success. Freudian slips, named after Sigmund Freud, are unintentional verbal mistakes that reveal a person's subconscious thoughts or desires. They often lead to amusing situations or conversations. For example, an employee intended to say, "We need to analyze the marketing data," but accidentally blurted out, "We need to analyze the mating data." This could suggest that the person is having a romance, creating an awkward yet funny moment.
पश्चिम बंगाल और तमिलनाडु के चुनाव प्रचार चल रहा है। बीजेपी की जीत निश्चित होने वाली है दोनों राज्यों में, जीत होने वाली है दोनों राज्यों में।
Epstein in Indian Parliament. Rahul Gandhi invoked Epstein in Indian Parliament for inspiration. Connect 16 to Epstein.
Yesterday I was watching the Prime Minister speak. Low energy, broken, nothing transmitting, and I suddenly noticed that yesterday was the 16th of April. Now I was listening, please. I was watching. I was sitting here, and he was talking, and he was not able to engage. He was not able to engage because clearly trying to pass this bill was a mistake because everybody knew there was a past panic reaction, as I said. So I was watching him and I noticed on my phone 16th. And I was like, my God, how crazy. That's the number. 16. This 16 number. This is the number. The whole answer to the riddle is in the number 16. Everything is in the number 16. Now if anybody understands what I'm saying, please send me a message and on Twitter you can tell what it is. But the answer to your problems, and you're going to find out very soon, is in the number 16.
पसंद है और 16 का नंबर देश सोल्व करे, क्या है सर?
वो तो है पजल है, थोड़ी बताऊंगा इसका आंसर है। सोल्यूशन है मिलेगा आप मॉडल दिलाएंगे।
Epstein in Lok Sabha. Congress posts Ragas number 16 message.
राहुल गांधी ने संसद में 16 नंबर की एक ऐसी पहली छोड़ी है जिसके तार अमेरिका के बड़े घोटालों और बंद फाइलों से जुड़ने की चर्चा है। अब शिवसेना नेता संजय राउत ने इस पहली का राज खोलते हुए बड़े खुलासे किए। उन्होंने कहा कि दिसंबर 2025 में अमेरिकी न्याय विभाग की वेबसाइट से अचानक एप्स्टीन केस की 16 फाइलें गायब हो गई थी। इन फाइलों में कुछ ऐसे राज दबे हैं जो भारत के बड़े कारोबारी घरानों की पोल खोल सकते हैं। हैरानी की बात यह है कि अडानी मामले की अमेरिकी चार्जशीट में पेज नंबर 16 पर ही सागर अडानी का नाम है। इसमें 16 डील में करोड़ों की रिश्वत देने का पूरा कच्चा चिट्ठा दर्ज किया गया है। इतना नहीं, अडानी के खिलाफ भ्रष्टाचार की मुख्य घटना की तारीख भी 16 दिसंबर ही बताई जा रही है। एक और खुलासा अनिल अंबानी को लेकर है, जिन्होंने 16 मार्च 2017 को एप्स्टीन को मैसेज किया था। वो ट्रंप की टीम से जुड़ने के लिए एप्स्टीन की मदद मांग रहे थे। राउत का कहना है कि ट्रंप इन्हीं फाइलों और केस के जरिए भारत पर व्यापारिक समझौते का दबाव बना रहे हैं। 16 का राज, संजय राउत ने क्या खोली राहुल गांधी की रहस्यमयी पहेली?
The true riddle is, why is Women's Reservation Bill and Delimitation Bill connected with Epstein files by Rahul Gandhi?
अरे कहना क्या चाहते हो?
आप महिला विरोधी ही नहीं हैं, आप महिला के शरीर को नोचने वाले लोग हैं। आप लोग लोकसभा और विधानसभा महिलाओं को गिद्ध दृष्टि से देखती है। मैंने सदन में कहा कि 75% नेता फॉर्म देखते हैं। सबका मोबाइल चेक करो, मोबाइल से कुछ भी डिलीट नहीं होता है, करो चेक। सारे कुकर्म का जड़ ये सिस्टम है, नेता, बाबा, पदाधिकारी और ये पूंजीपति।
I heard the statement and I think it was deeply shocking. And as a woman, I would like to ask, today we are one of the largest democracies of the world. And even as compared to the United States of America, we've given our first woman prime minister, we've given 2 women presidents, we've had a women Congress president, we've had so many successful, talented women in the country. And to say something like this, especially to women politicians, and we have the best of them across the parliament now and so many more emerging ones, I think it is very shameful and very derogatory. Every day we are fighting against exploitation of women, every day we are fighting against crime against women, and instead of coming together, instead of coming together to support us women, to speak like this and speak ill about women, I think very, very shameful.
कांग्रेस पार्टी के सबसे करीबी माने जाने वाले नेता जो राहुल गांधी जी के बहुत निकट है, पप्पू यादव, हालांकि वो इंडिपेंडेंट सांसद है, परंतु कांग्रेस में और राहुल गांधी की आंखों में उनकी अहमियत तो चुने हुए कांग्रेस के सांसद से ज्यादा है। सोचा समझा उन्होंने राहुल गांधी के इशारे पर महिलाओं को अपमानित करने की एक टिप्पणी की है। और कहा है कि 90% महिलाएं जो राजनीति में हैं वो बेड से होते हुए जाती है मर्दों के। इस प्रकार की घटिया, दक्यानुसी और महिला विरोधी सोच जो है ये कांग्रेस की सोच है। और जब से नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम पारित करने की एक ईमानदार कोशिश की, तो कभी मोदी जी को गाली और कभी देश की महिलाओं को गाली देने का पूरा कार्यक्रम बनाया राहुल गांधी ने।
ये राजनीति है, यहां सब चलता है। लाइक PM buying Jhalmuri in Jhargram is natak, said Didi. There is little difference between neta and abhineta. Agree?
भाई हमें अपना जालमुली खिलाओ। हाँ, कितने का होता है आपका जालमुली? नहीं, अच्छे वाला कितने का होता है? 10 पीस। हाँ, जो भी है बना दो। हाँ, राम थोड़ी खाएगा? हाँ, खाएंगे, बिल्कुल खाएंगे। तो कितना 10 रुपए देना है? दुकान में आया सर। हाँ, 10 रुपए देना है। नहीं भाई, ऐसा नहीं। हाँ, हाँ, प्याज खाते हैं, दिमाग नहीं खाते बस।
Like, Supreme Court castigated Didi for interference in Enforcement Directorate raid on IPAC. Lead by example, said Supreme Court. SC says Mamata Banerjee's conduct has put democracy in peril.
Supreme Court has delivered a sharp rebuke to West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee in the ED confrontation case. Hearing the matter, the top court made it clear that this is not a centre versus state dispute but an issue of individual conduct, and that too coming in from a Chief Minister. The bench observed that a Chief Minister cannot walk into the middle of an ongoing investigation and interfere in a matter that puts democracy in peril. The court said that such actions, regardless of her position, risk undermining institutional processes. It's a huge statement coming in from the top court of the country. We all remember those visuals of Mamata Banerjee walking out of the investigation. That is the visual on our screen with a file in her hand, and now that strong rebuke coming in from the top court of the country.
मुझे घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ता लोग मेरे बारे में क्या सोचते हैं। मेरी लाइफ मेरी मर्जी से चलती है, किसी दूसरे के सोच से नहीं।
Elections West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. Not since independence. Bumper 90% voting in Bengal Phase 1 and 85% in Tamil Nadu. Election Commission of India salutes voters. West Bengal recorded 91.91% polling in the first of the two phases, while Tamil Nadu saw 84.8% voting in the only phase. CEC Gyanesh Kumar said in a statement, "This is the highest ever polling percentage in West Bengal and Tamil Nadu since independence." In the previous 2021 Assembly elections, voter turnout stood at 85.2% in West Bengal and 76.6% in Tamil Nadu. Significantly, in West Bengal, female turnout reached a record 92.69%, compared to 90.92% for men. Similarly, in Tamil Nadu, 85.76% of women voted, while male participation stood at 83.57%. In West Bengal, Dakshin Dinajpur recorded the highest turnout at 94.85%, while in Tamil Nadu, Karur led with 92.48%. Like, AAP suffered a big blow when 7 of the 10 Rajya Sabha MPs, led by Raghav Chadda, joined BJP. You don't have to be an AAP supporter to express anguish at this Jhadu sweep. AAP MPs join BJP.
राज्यसभा में आम आदमी पार्टी के 10 सांसद हैं और 2/3 से ज्यादा सांसद इस मुहिम में हमारे साथ हैं। उन्होंने हस्ताक्षर भी कर दिए हैं और आज सुबह हमने चेयरमैन राज्यसभा को तमाम डॉक्यूमेंटेशन जो कागजी कार्रवाई होती है, सिग्नेचर वाली लेटर होती है, वो सबमिट कर दी है। और जैसा कि मैंने कहा 2/3 से ज्यादा सांसद मैं आपको इसकी पूरी सूची अभी उपलब्ध करा देंगे। इसमें से तीन लोग तो आपके सामने बैठे हैं। इसके अतिरिक्त वर्ल्ड क्लास क्रिकेटर हरभजन सिंह हैं, राजेंद्र गुप्ता जी हैं, विक्रम साहनी जी हैं, स्वाति मालीवाल जी हैं, और हम तीन तो आपके सामने बैठे हैं, अशोक जी, संदीप जी और मैं स्वयं। आई एम द राइट मैन इन द रॉन्ग पार्टी। आई रिपीट, आई एम द राइट मैन इन द रॉन्ग पार्टी। जिस आम आदमी पार्टी को मैंने अपने खून और पसीने से सींचा और अपनी जवानी के 15 साल दिए, वो आम आदमी पार्टी आज पूरी तरीके से अपने सिद्धांतों से, अपने मूल्यों से, अपने कोर मॉरल और वैल्यूज से भटक चुकी है। और अब ये पार्टी देश के लिए नहीं, देश के हित के लिए नहीं, बल्कि अपने पर्सनल फायदे के लिए काम कर रही है। आप में से कई लोग पिछले कुछ सालों से मुझे ये कह भी रहे थे, और मैं पर्सनली पिछले कुछ सालों से ये महसूस कर रहा था दैट आई एम द राइट मैन इन द रॉन्ग पार्टी। आई रिपीट, आई एम द राइट मैन इन द रॉन्ग पार्टी। इसलिए आज हम ये अनाउंस करते हैं, मैं ये अनाउंस करता हूं कि मैं आम आदमी पार्टी से दूर जा रहा हूं और जनता के पास जा रहा हूं।
Groundwork for Punjab elections. Legislative Assembly elections are expected to be held in Punjab in February 2027 to elect all 117 members of the Punjab Legislative Assembly. Bhagwant Mann is the incumbent Chief Minister of Punjab.
Like, ace tennis player Leander Paes joined BJP in Kolkata. A bit late.
आइए करीब आइए। ये पार्टी मेंबरशिप का स्लिप है। Welcome to the family of the largest political party in the world. और
Like, somebody read SS leader Sanjay Raut as Sanjay Rant. It was obviously a bona fide mistake, not defamation.
हा हिंदुस्थान म्हणजे एकेकाळी 11 वर्षापूर्वी जगातला एक सर्वोत्तम देश होता असं मानलं जायचं, आणि नरेंद्र मोदी आल्यापासून या देशाचा जर नरक झाला असेल तर या देशाची 140 कोटी जनतेला नरेंद्र मोदींनी नरकात ढकलल्या, फक्त अमेरिकेतल्या लोकांना नाही, असं कटू सत्य माय फ्रेंड डोनाल्ड यांनी हे कटू सत्य जगासमोर मांडलेलं आहे। आणि त्याच्यामुळे ह्याच्यावरती भारतीय जनता पक्षानं नरेंद्र मोदींनी आता तरी एक पत्रकार परिषद घ्यावी आणि हा देश नर्क नसून नंदनवन आहे हे सांगावं।
You are watching Sanglikars Weekly. Fresh bid to impeach CEC Ganesh Kumar as opposition submits new notice signed by 73 MPs in Rajya Sabha.
Opposition parties have once again stepped up their confrontation with the Election Commission, submitting a fresh notice on Friday, April 24th, 2026, seeking the removal of Chief Election Commissioner Ganesh Kumar. This is the second time opposition members have moved such a motion against the CEC. The notice has been signed by 73 Rajya Sabha members from 11 opposition parties, including Congress leader Jairam Ramesh and Trinamool Congress MP Sagarika Ghosh. This fresh notice levels 9 specific charges against Ganesh Kumar, up from 7 charges in the earlier attempt. The previous notice had a wider footprint. It was signed by 63 Rajya Sabha members and 130 Lok Sabha members, making a total of 193 MPs across both houses. This time, however, the opposition has not yet taken a call on whether to move a similar notice in the Lok Sabha.
Like, ex-Army Chief General Naravang gave an interview on his new published book. He reiterated that not an inch of our territory was given to China during Gowon conflict.
have we lost out on any territory? Have we ceded anything? How do you see the situation? Who can be termed as a victor in this entire?
I think firstly we have not lost out on any territory. We are where we were before this whole thing started. But as a result of this agreement, it has been reached on the principle of mutual and equal security. So I think that should be the way we look at this whole disengagement process, that it serves the interests of both countries to have a very stable LAC and with less chances of any confrontation taking place. That should be the larger viewpoint that we take.
And not an inch has been lost.
Not an inch has been lost, that's right.
Sir, what is the situation on the other friction points? Now we have seen disengagement from Pangong Lake, but there are other friction points where they were aggressive, like Gogra, Hot Springs and Depsang. What's the situation?
We are approaching this whole issue in a step-by-step manner. So the initial step was of course the disengagement which I've just talked about. So future rounds of talks will continue, and I'm sure that through these talks we will be able to narrow down our differences and arrive at a acceptable solution, once again based on mutual and equal security, and which is acceptable to both sides, and only when it is acceptable to both sides will it actually succeed.
Like, it was anniversary of Pahalgam carnage. I don't understand how introducing QR code ensures tourist safety. Do terrorists come by scanning QR codes?
In a major step aimed at strengthening tourist safety and confidence, authorities in Jammu and Kashmir have introduced a first-of-its-kind QR code system for stakeholders across the tourism sector. Now, this initiative covers hotels, shopkeepers, pony handlers, taxi drivers and tourist guides operating throughout the valley.
Officials say the move leverages modern technology to ensure that every tourist visiting the region is accounted for and can travel securely. The core objective of the system is to maintain transparency and oversight not only of visitors but also of local service providers interacting with them. This ensures that only verified individuals are allowed to offer services to visitors exploring different parts of the town. The initiative has already been implemented in key tourist destinations such as Pahalgam, where pony operators have been issued QR codes.
You are watching Sanglikars Weekly. And Maharashtra Women's Council's suggestion to mention date of birth in marriage invitation card to curb child marriages is plainly absurd.
अब शादी के कार्ड पर दुल्हा और दुल्हन की बर्थ डेट जरूरी होगी। दरअसल महाराष्ट्र राज्य बाल अधिकार संरक्षण आयोग ने महाराष्ट्र सरकार को ये सुझाव देने का फैसला किया है कि बाल विवाह पर रोक लगाने के कदम के तौर पर शादी के निमंत्रण पत्रों पर दुल्हा और दुल्हन की जन्मतिथि का उल्लेख करना अनिवार्य किया जाए। आयोग ने कहा कि बाल विवाह और बच्चों के यौन शोषण को रोकने के लिए पूरे राज्य में जागरूकता अभियान तेज किया जाएगा और इसलिए ये बड़ा कदम उठाने की बात कही जा रही है।
Like, there were 3 blasts in 3 firecracker units in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Maharashtra. 23 died in Tamil Nadu, 13 in Kerala and 2 in Maharashtra. Sad that this is an annual recurrence. Owners treat as if workers' lives are worthless. Time to make deterrent, stringent laws. Will they be made? Like, Kotak Securities reported that government may increase petrol and diesel prices by rupees 25 to 28 per litre after elections. Quite possible.
पेट्रोल और डीजल के रेट्स 25 रुपए से 28 रुपए तक बढ़ने वाले हैं, और ये मैं नहीं कह रहा, ये कोटक सिक्योरिटीज का नोट कह रहा है। अभी इलेक्शंस की वजह से रेट हाइक नहीं हो रहे, लेकिन इलेक्शंस के बाद इतनी बड़ी प्राइस हाइक आ सकती है। हां, हो सकता है कि एक बार में ना हो, बल्कि ग्रेजुअली इंक्रीज हो, क्योंकि क्रूड ऑयल $100 पर बैरल के आसपास चल रहा है और ऑयल कंपनीज को पेट्रोल डीजल पर काफी लॉस हो रहा है। गवर्नमेंट भी ऑलरेडी एक्साइज ड्यूटी काफी कम कर चुकी है, ऑलमोस्ट जीरो के करीब, इसलिए प्राइसेस बढ़ने के अलावा कोई ऑप्शन बचता नजर नहीं आ रहा। अब आप क्या सोचते हो, ये प्राइस हाइक जस्टिफाइड है, या फिर ऑयल कंपनीज को बोला जाए कि पहले बहुत प्रॉफिट कमाया है, अब थोड़ा लॉस भी खा लो?
Like, TCS advisory to women employees not to stay alone after scores of cases of sexual harassment in Nasik is reprehensible. Is TCS full of predators? Or is TCS helpless?
Imagine you've just graduated and landed your dream job at a prestigious startup group firm. But the moment you enter the professional world, it marks the beginning of your worst nightmare. This is what allegedly happened to 8 young female employees at Tata Consultancy Services in Maharashtra. The recent case of alleged sexual harassment and forced religious conversion at the company's Nashik branch sent shockwaves through the industry. Faced with the allegations, the Tata Group issued a public statement asserting that the company maintains a zero-tolerance policy towards any form of coercion or misconduct by its employees. As alleged, was there a systemic abuse of power hidden behind corporate walls? Did the HR department allegedly turn a blind eye to repeated complaints raised by young female employees? These questions highlight the vulnerability of young graduates, especially women who are just beginning their career. Let's now take a closer look at what really transpired at the Nashik unit of TCS. The case came to light in March 2026 when a young woman approached a police station in Nashik alleging that between 2022 and 2026, 3 colleagues hurt her religious sentiments and also accused one male colleague of sexually exploiting her on multiple occasions. The police started probing her claims, and for nearly a month, a group of undercover police personnel posing as housekeeping staff worked inside the BPO unit of TCS in Nashik. The police also requested other employees to come forward if they had similar allegations. By April 2026, a total of 9 FIRs were registered, 8 by women employees aged between 18 and 25, alleging inappropriate religion-linked remarks and sexual offences. The most alarming detail, the complainant said they repeatedly flagged these issues to the HR department, but no action was taken against the accused, who were team leaders and senior staff.
जो पीड़ित महिलाएं हैं, इन्होंने ये ऑपरेशन मैनेजर के पास टाइम टू टाइम शिकायतें की थी, लेकिन ये ऑपरेशन मैनेजर होते हुए और उनके ऑफिस में पॉश कमेटी है, पॉश कमेटी की भी ये सदस्य है, और ये सदस्य होते हुए भी उसने ये जो महिलाओं की जो कंप्लेंट है उसके बारे में कॉग्निजेंस न लेते हुए अक्यूज लोग जो है तो उनको उन्होंने सपोर्ट किया.
After examining over 40 CCTV footage clips, the police took 7 accused, including 6 men and 1 female HR official, into custody. While the investigation is still underway, the case has triggered sharp reactions. Calling the allegations gravely concerning and anguishing, Tata Sons chairman N. Chandrasekaran also ordered an internal investigation under the leadership of Chief Operating Officer. Union Minister of State for Home Affairs Bandi Sanjay Kumar called it a case of corporate jihad and also urged the Telangana DGP to meet with heads of major IT companies to ensure protection for lakhs of IT employees working in the state. While the company maintained a zero-tolerance policy on paper, these cases exposed a darker, systemic reality hidden behind corporate walls.
Like, Mumtaz said Zeenat Aman can't act. Can Mumtaz act? Just asking. Like, on his 19th marriage anniversary, Abhishek Bachchan said, Aishwarya is his soulmate. Where is Aishwarya? Jaya was reportedly frowning.
Part 2 follows.